Hi guys, Henry Harr here. With me always is the punk rock brother man, Mr. Johnny Noise.
Hey, notice the channel. We have a really special guest for you tonight. Uh, so sit back, enjoy the ride. I'll kick it over to Henry for the introductions.
All right, tonight we're to have with us the founding member, frontman of the punk rock group Anti-Scene, Mr. Jeff Clayton. Hi Jeff,
How's it
how you
Hey
going, Jeff?
doing?
fellas. Hey fellas, how you doing?
Good, good.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Thank you
So,
for coming on our show and kind of chatting with us. We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's no problem at all, man. Glad to be here.
we've been looking forward to this for a while. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So, who are some of your musical influences?
Musical, I would guess when we first got started, it was like Alice Cooper and Grand Funk and Black Oak, Arkansas, and stuff like that. And then we kind of started learning how to play, and we're just like, well, I don't know if we're gonna get that good like that quick. then we discovered punk rock came along, the Sex Pistols and the Ramones, and
Amen. Amen.
we heard the Ramones. We're like, you know what, we can do that. So we started doing that, and we just kind of stuck with it ever since.
Wow. Yeah, that was kind of my genre as well. Pistols, Ramones, Generation X, Wendell Williams, Plasmatics, all that stuff. So
Yep.
yeah. I got drawn into it, man. It was over from there. So
Yep.
yep. That's awesome. That's definitely pretty cool. Pistols, can't beat that. Johnny Rotten, love it.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Even today, can't beat it. I got
Not
yeah.
even with a new singer, man. You can't beat it.
No, no, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Well, go ahead, Henry.
Well, I was about to say it speaks volumes on how stuff it's either nearing on or already is 50 years ago, and it still holds that test of time, and it speaks volumes that people at different ages and even this young generation, some they're discovering all that stuff, and it just keeps going and going, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. That is
Yep.
really really amazing. Um, but going with anti-scene, um, you guys do have that from the gut sound, but I
Mhm.
notice, is it me or is there a little bit of a southern rock flavor in with anti-scene as well?
Oh yeah, man. It's in there. Some stuff we just couldn't shake. Like the whole Southern thing. We could act like we weren't from here, or, and try to cover our accents and stuff. But man, like the Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers, Black Oak, Arkansas, like I mentioned earlier, it was all there, man.
Hmm.
And we just, it just comes out the way it does with the way we do things. And the older we got, the more we were able to harness that and make it work for us.
Yeah. There's definitely a distinct um sound and style of playing. If it's like southern rock type stuff, which I personally did not get exposed to until I moved down to Jacksonville when I was first in the Navy. And I was down in Jackson '85, and
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm dating myself, and of course back then all the clubs were playing Skinnerd, and and I was never exposed to that. Originally being from New Jersey, there wasn't that southern rock exposure. And
Yeah.
what I noticed about that type of stuff is uh, the arrangements and the leads. I was like, wow, this is pretty good stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so but it's way different than anything that they play like in New York or New Jersey back in the day for sure. But
Yeah.
but I definitely was influenced by that as well when I got so from that point on in my whole military career I was in a southern state, so I never went back up north. So I was kind of indoctrinated to y'all's rock and roll, so to speak. But but it's different, and but it's I there's a lot of stuff that I like, a lot of stuff I jam with when I'm just jamming out at the house. I'll throw on some stuff like that, and I'll just go to town, and so I have a good time with it. But there is definitely that difference,
Yep.
From all that. So I think that's pretty cool. But there's still that, you know, I'm still kind of chained to the punk thing. I'll take that to the very end probably. And but yeah. So you can't peel that part off. That I'm stuck with that forever. I'm sure.
I tell you what, though, I just kind of became pretty disenfranchised with the term punk rock,
Mm-hmm.
and the way it went over the last 10 years, I guess, more so.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I just remember when punk rock was whoever decided they wanted to do something
Right.
musically, and they just did it,
Mm-hmm.
whether it fell in with other people's beliefs or not. They just did it, and it wasn't all like really hard. It wasn't all metal edge, and stuff like that. But that's when I really loved punk rock, when it was just anybody getting up on stage and doing anything, and it fell under that umbrella of punk. But then, as the years went on, it got more defined, and it became a uniform in of itself, and so now, man, we just call ourselves rock and roll,
Just rock and roll.
because
Yeah.
trying to stay within the confines of what's right with punk and what's wrong with punk, and all this. And it seems like the folks that wanted to take it over and decide, hey, you're not punk, man, you don't do this, you don't think this, you don't I was just like, you know what, y'all can have mine.
Right.
I'll keep playing. I'll just keep doing what I do, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way we are, man. That's the way anti-scene is.
Yeah. It's it changed for sure from the late '70s and '80s. We were like horror punk, I guess you want to classify my very first band at a Jersey.
Yeah.
So we fell into that category, I guess, and then things have changed, obviously. But yeah, you're right. Back in the day, it was, you went to CBGB's or Max's Kansas City, or all the clubs in New York or whatever. It was whoever, would they just do their thing. It was all kind of melded together, and there was no right or wrong about it.
Right.
And we were kids. I mean, I think the first CB show, I want to say I was either 16 or 17 years old, and it was just go. But now,
What year was that?
Probably, I gotta say 78, 79. So we cut our first LP with Morning Noise in 1980, I believe. So I was literally junior high school. I was in junior. Oh yeah, junior high school. Well, we had to have parental escorts to go play. They wouldn't let us in. Where's your mother? Whatever. So, but yeah, we were very young when we broke out years ago, and again, way different scene than now. So, and
We're
got
about the same age then, right?
I would pretty much guess close. Yeah.
62.
I'm right behind you. Right behind you. Literally. Yeah. And so it's it did kind of get a little commercialized, I guess, after that, because we definitely weren't. We caught it when it was not. It wasn't as commercialized as it is now. There's nothing wrong with it going that way. It's just that it changed it. Like you said, it changed the feel of it. It changed the vibe. It people started doing this, that, and the other just to please whomever. Where when we did it, it was we're just gonna go. Excuse me. We're just gonna go play. and just go. And we did. And it was, much different time
Yeah.
to be a performer back then.
Yeah.
So, and now, like I said, we're getting older. I play classic rock. Now I'm playing guitar, bass, and keyboard. So it's like I'm doing all kinds of shit, So here you get the punk guy, and I'm doing all these, old Chicago and all these different riffs on bass and whatever the frig I'm doing, It's like, but you just evolve. You evolve musically and what you're doing, and but yeah, the scene has changed dramatically. Back when you and I first picked up anything, guitar, bass, drums, whatever it is, So,
All right.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, definitely things have changed, but like you said, it, back then it was like you just went and did it. It didn't have to have a uniform, like you didn't have to have these cliches like you have to wear a leather jacket, you have to have a mohawk. That to me that's never what made somebody a punk. Punk was in here. The
Yep.
attitude was in here, but the punk part of it was in here.
Mhm.
But you've had a pretty long, interesting rock and roll career. Who are some of the people that you've collaborated with over the years?
Mm. Collaborated with. Okay. Let me think here, man. I don't swell and dwell on our past too much. I like to look forward,
Oh
but
yeah.
let me think here. Well, we've of course we had our time with Gigi Allen, and we had Michael Bruce from the Alice Cooper group has played with us before.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
we played with Fear a lot. Good gosh, man. You kind of caught me off guard here. Let me think for a second. Uh, a lot of people, man. Just a ton of people. Um, when once the New Orleans thing got big, with I Hate God and Crowbar and all those kind of groups, they all uh, recognized that we were, an influence on them as well. And man, we played with just about anybody you could name. As far as us opening for them or them opening for us. I mean, we went over to Europe and Negative Approach was opening for us,
Oh
and
wow.
we're just like, wait a minute now. They're like, they come over here all the time, man. I was like, okay. So
Wow.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Um, and how did it feel when or how did it feel or how did it come that Hank Williams III covered Ruby Ruby Get Back to the Hills?
oh man, with Hank, yeah, okay. He went into our stuff with a different attitude than the way we meant it. He was really looking for something in there, and it wasn't really you know a hidden meaning. And I tried to explain that to him at one point, but he got into Ruby. I don't think he knew that Ruby was The Hills Have Eyes. I don't think he knew that at all. He thought it was just some girl Ruby that we were telling to get back to the hills. But eventually he did learn what it was. But I think he was looking for something that wasn't there. But he covered it and did a damn good job too. I must say, I'm really proud of that.
Oh, so he was searching for a deeper philosophical meaning to the song, basically. And you're like,
we're
no,
just like,
it's
man,
a fucking song, man. Let's go.
it's about it's about a horror movie, man. The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's yeah. I get it. Well, speaking about all that, I do have when Henry was at the event, Janice had I have the one of however many of the albums. So I got that signed by you and then Janice and the
Oh, yeah, there's only
COAs and
30.
everything. 30, yeah. So I got number one. And I have it's not on my wall yet, but I'm gonna put it next to my records that I have up here. And yeah, so it's kind of cool. So when Henry's like, man, we got, I said, really? That's awesome. We've obviously talked to Janice several times. And so like, wow, this
Talk
is
about Janice Blythe, right?
Janice Blythe, yes, the queen of the horror scene, and she's we've had her on the show. What is it? 3 times, Henry? I think, yeah, isn't it?
No, we've
Twice.
We've had her on twice.
Twice, okay.
And then there was a little footage here and there that I did from the
show.
Lane show.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I was there
Yeah.
every day of the. We hung out with her the day before, and then
Yeah.
I was there for 2 days out of the 3. I wasn't able to go to the last day because I had to go to work. So yeah, so but we got to hang out a lot while we were there, and she had these albums, and I of course got one for John, and then I was kind of walking around, and I was like, well, I'm gonna walk out of here with something, and I was like, well, that pretty much has all I need. So I thought I was gonna get number 2, but I think somebody had beat me to it. So I got 3 out of 30.
Yeah, okay.
That's my centerpiece back here.
Yep, there it is.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it was just awesome, and I was gonna ask that too. That was one of my next questions. Is so, how did you come across paths with Janice Blythe and get all that together?
Well, she had done a few of the Hills Have Eyes reunion gatherings, at like Creature, I don't know what they're called, but a friend of ours named Art Ettinger, who also does the Ultraviolence magazine.
Oh yeah.
He knew she was going to be there, so he made sure his wife wore her patch of Ruby, Get Back to the Hills, the song with her image on it, on her back. When she got into the elevator with her, and she looks down at her bag and she sees her face on it, and she asks her, why is my image on your bag? And it said, oh, that's a band called Anti-Scene that does a song about Ruby, and they love you. And she's like, well, I've never met them, and so she knew we were out there, and so through that connection from Art, I was able to get her address, and I sent her some things, like some of the T-shirts, some of the patches and stuff, and I introduced myself. I said, look, I'm Jeff Clayton. I love you, and I love your movies. I love everything you've been in that I know about, and and I just kept saying, does anyone do a fan page for you? And she's like, no, I just have my Facebook page. So I said, well, I'm gonna start you a fan page, and that's what started Janice Blythe Scream Queen.
Scream Queen, yeah, we got that.
Yeah. Her page, and I did more work on it in the beginning. I'm going to get back into that, but yeah, she was ready to I think sink back into obscurity, and until we kind of pulled her out, said, look, people care about you, people care about what you've done, and all this, and and now she's getting conventions, she's getting booked all the time. and
Oh,
and she's always a big hit at those conventions. People love to talk to her. She's so bubbly and lively, and I mean, I've known her for 6 years now, and I have not yet met her once in person.
Wow. Yeah.
I've just been talking to her on the phone and on the computer and everything else. But yeah, just being able to help her get back out into the consciousness of the public and not just fade away has been a wonderful thing. And I'm so glad that I got to know her
oh yeah.
the way.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Yeah, she's very from the first time that we have talked to her, she's very personable. She's funny. I mean, we had a ball. She was, kind of picking on us, and we go back. It was so fun to have her on. Even before we started recording the show, it was just this whole big thing going on. I'm like, so I won't, but she is hilarious. But and again, she's like you said, she's back out there, and I think she's just having. I can't speak for her, but from what I can tell, she's having a time of her life. She's really enjoying this whole thing, and just really having a good time. And the times that we've had, spoken with her, and I mean, Henry took her out in the town. I mean, they were all over the place, and she's just funny. She's just the greatest
yeah,
person.
she is hilarious. She's got a great sense of
Oh my
humor.
God! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
She was a pleasure to be with. I mean,
Hmm.
because when she got into town, I had gotten in touch with her to see if she had even made it into town yet, and she's like, "Yeah, I got in this morning," and she's like, they don't have the food here ready for us yet. Would you mind come picking me up?" And I was like, "Yeah, we'll take you out to dinner." And she's like, "Oh, I want to go to a shop too," and blah blah blah. So I was like, "Yeah, we'll be there in a little bit." So, and that was cool because she could have just had some handler there that I'm pretty sure would have went and got her something. But the fact that
Mhm.
she called us and and called us and we went out there and we got to hang out with her, that was just so awesome of her to I was deeply touched. That meant like a lot to me, and that's that's one of those memories. It's gonna stay here.
Gonna stay with you forever,
Yeah,
man.
forever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but yeah, she's just the most awesome person to be with, and great. She's funny. She's everything. You know, she's everything Ruby. I'll put it that way. She's
Yes.
she's the
Yes, she
true
is.
gem. She is the true
Yeah.
gem.
Yeah.
So
It's Yep, yep. It's been awesome, and then things like I said, they cycle right back around. We talk to her, and then she puts us in contact with you, and it keeps on going. And we're having, all these different people that we get to have on our show, which is great. So back to like music stuff. When you would write your music, was it like a collaboration, or did just one of you come up with the songs, or
It started out. It was Joe Young and I were writing all the songs,
okay,
and Joe died back in 2014. So I mean, I've kind of stopped writing the songs at this point. Barry Hannibal and the other two guys, Walt Wheat and Malcolm Tent, they pretty much write the way I would talk. You know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
So they kind of handle all that now. I don't really do the writing anymore. It's got to be something. It's got to be something that I get behind and all that. But in the beginning, it was me and Joe. And Joe would write some on his own. I'd write some on my own, and we'd write some together. And then, of course, there was some times when I would write something with something else from the band, and like that. But yeah, it's always been a group effort.
group, yeah, yeah. Well, that's yeah. So you know, if you look back, or even now, they're per se like being an old school artist like myself. When we wrote music, you sat down and you wrote it, and you did everything manually, and you did whatever. And now with everything, with all this AI stuff, everything going on, it's people are writing music and novels and whatever by click of a button, and I think that for me anyway, having done, coming from the old school version of things, you know, it's almost like there's no effort involved anymore in putting stuff together, and I was like, and we discussed this with a ton of different artists. We've always kind of bring this up, about the AI portion of, especially as it pertains to music, you know. So I was kind of wondering what your take is on all of that.
Man, I'm probably the wrong person to ask about things that are current and happening and everything in music, because man, I always go back to the old ways that we've always done things. And I mean, it took years. It took years for me to stop recording completely analog.
Wow. Yeah.
It took a long time. And eventually everyone showed me that digital was better and digital was faster, and now I was like, okay. And now I'm just kind of like, but man, I think I draw the line at AI. Just don't. There's two different schools of thought with AI, and one of the schools is that someone had to give it that information, and it takes that information and just makes what you want it to do. So it's an artistic collaboration, I guess. But I am from the school of, if I want to make something, then I want to make it with my hands, with my head, my heart, pour into it, and I come out. If it's no good, it's no good. If it's good, it's great. And that's just the way I am, man. I can't embrace AI. I just can't. I may eventually, but right now I can't.
Yeah. I think it's there might be probably some good points about it. I'm not sure. I'm definitely, like I said, old school when it comes to anything like that. Now, as far as making a video or using like an animation type thing, I'm trying to figure that out. So I can record a few things, but musically, like what I play or what I do and how I've done things, there was nothing, involving any kind of artificial intelligence at all. But I think if people keep it in perspective, maybe it can be helpful. I don't know. Like I said, I don't fool with it right now at all, as far as music goes. Like video editing and stuff like that, might be a few different things I can throw at something, that's there. But everything else is human generated. Because you can click a drum beat and a bass beat, and it follows you right along, and you got an instant band and go. So, but I prefer, like you had said, the kind of old school methodology of it, and then it takes away, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it takes away some of the anticipation. Like when you're working on a song, and you might spend weeks or months or whatever, and you're putting this thing together. That time that you spend on that thing, that's the real memory of the song. So I think anyway, right, that thing took me 6 months, man, and I did this and did that, or whatever the case is, where if you get that instant gratification, I think people are losing some of that process. Just like back in the day when you did shows, I'm sure you did the same thing. When you advertised, there was no internet. No, you made copies, or you pieced something together and you posted them all over lampposts and walls and whatever, that you're playing at this club. And if no one saw that, if you didn't take the effort to get up off your ass and go, wallpaper wherever, no one knew you were even freaking playing. You know,
We used to make sure everybody knew where we were playing, man. Like if you didn't know, you lived under some kind of rock.
yeah, yeah. And it's but it's I think the instant gratification takes away something from it, in my opinion, and that's what I kind of miss the build up to the show. What's happening, the excitement prior to all the legwork that goes involved, all the stuff. Before you even get on stage, you're all jacked up. Doing all this stuff. We take the bus into the city and wallpaper everywhere. We can wallpaper. It was like the flyer war. The flyer wars back in the '80s. I put my shit down and it gets covered up by some other guy. You go back and cover his shit up. And this went on and on and on until the day of the show. So, but yeah, so it's different. It's a different world. But I think, like anything else, it does lose something in the translation and how things feel and how you feel about what you have done and what you have put together. That's just, like I said, again, that's my humble opinion on that. So
Well, I agree with you.
yeah. Henry, you got another question, Henry? Before I can ramble, so I apologize.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I got two more, but before I ask, I just want to throw my 2 cents in there about the whole AI thing. You're right about it being two different forms. Now, there's a form of it out there that I'm seeing that is helping like people with disabilities that can't communicate, helping them communicate and do this and that, where they haven't been able to do that for years. Now AI is helping them able to communicate and in some cases even speak.
Well,
That
see,
I'm all
when you
for.
talk about things like that, see, I'm all for that.
Yeah, me
Right.
too.
Right.
But
But when you're talking about our medium
Mm-hmm.
of music and art and stuff, I just think, I mean, I don't know. They may slip AI in on me at some point, and I won't even know it, and I just go, yeah, that's good, whatever. But I don't know, man. I just think, like you said a second ago, with a click of a button, you've got a rhythm section.
Mm-hmm.
With a click of another button, you've got background singers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when does it end?
Right.
It don't.
No.
It don't end.
No.
Our way of doing things is going to be extinct before long,
Correct.
and we will see it.
Mm.
We will see it. It's moving that fast.
Yeah.
It's not something that it'll just happen one day, and we'll be long gone. Nah, it's going to happen while we're here.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well.
just think like the repackaging of it, and it's like there's some bands that aren't even around anymore, and they're doing AI, and they're saying this is the band. No, that's not that band. That band had their time, and you know what? They were great in their time. You can't. That's not something that you can just replicate by pushing a button. I mean, that band put their sweat, blood, and tears into that music, and it may sound kind of the same, but it's not, and it's just I don't know. That's where I draw the line at it because it's not real, or to me it doesn't seem real.
Right.
But getting back to real music, um, now aside from your rock and roll, I want to know a little bit more about your gospel music.
Oh, okay. Um, Man, I put together. Well, I didn't put it together. It was put together for me, and I was recruited. Uh, my friend Steve Wensil had wanted to do some songs, and he wanted to have me sing on a couple of gospel songs for him. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be glad to do that." And this is before I had turned my life over to Christ. And man, things happened. I I gave myself over to Christ, and the more we talked about it, the more he talked about me singing some songs. I said, maybe I'll just sing them all. And he says, yeah. He goes, I'm just thinking that. He goes, man, he says, let's just do it, you and me. Just you and me. And we don't have to worry about drummers. We won't have to worry about this, that. We ended up getting other people, though, of course. But we put it together, man. It's Clayton and Wensil, Songs from Home. It's all covers. We haven't done any originals yet, but a lot of them are pretty obscure, so you probably wouldn't know that they were covers. But man, I'm real proud of it. It's it took me completely out of my comfort zone, like 100%, and I was at the time, man, I was just so on fire for getting the word of the Lord out and everything that it consumed me. And now I think it's more of just trying to keep it together and keep it going. And we're already working on the second album, and we're a 9-piece band now.
Whoa.
So we went from just me and Steve to 7 other people involved in playing.
Wow.
And man, it is a trip. It's something. We've played I don't know, 5 shows, I guess, and every one of them's been different as far as who was playing with us, how many of us there were, and all this. But man, it is like I said, it's completely out of my comfort zone. Like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle myself
right.
on the parts where I wasn't doing anything. Like, what do I even do?
Mm.
I asked God for guidance, and He led me through. And so now I think I got something I'll be doing probably for the rest of my life, however long that may be, because I can't keep going with the teen angst. For, like I said, I'm 62 years old, man. I ain't put add that all up. I've got angst, but it's not teen angst, But
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. You
Yeah.
just gotta. I found something that I will be doing until I leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and it also is helping to bring people closer to God, which is our goal, from the start. We said, look, man, these CDs, these albums, these are seeds, man.
Mm.
We're planting, we're sowing these seeds, we're planting seeds, and people are coming, and that's the way it's turning out, and we couldn't be happier.
That is awesome. That is like so right on. I remember
Thank
you sent me some stuff, um, uh, maybe a week or two ago, and I listened to all of it, and I was like, wow! Like I was really blown away. I was really, really impressed. It
Well,
sounds
thank you,
really, really good, and
thank you.
I really, really hope that things keep going well for you like that because it's something to behold, man. I'll tell you that. I was really
I
blown
mean,
away.
I still do anti-scene because anti-scene. I mean, I'll be honest with you, anti-scene pays the bills around here, and there's still some stuff I want to do with anti-scene, and still some things I got to say. But then it'll be time. It'll be time to put it to bed,
Mm-hmm.
And when I do, I got Clayton and Wensil, so I'll just keep playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like musically or artistic expression, however you want to describe it, when you're in that realm, you're in that kind of zone, so to speak. Like for me, you're I don't want to say you're stuck with it, but you can't put it down. No matter what you like you're doing with all your stuff, and it's like it's so ingrained, the music, and even just doing this, get the podcast, and we're talking about music, we're doing this, we're doing that. I don't think it'll ever stop, you know, and it shouldn't. You know, there's so many people there's so many good artists out there that I've ran into. I'm in North Alabama. That's where I live now. We came up from New Orleans after Katrina, you know, and there's so many artists that I run into, you know, putting together different bands and stuff. And you're like, wow, there's a lot of talent out here, but they just lost their way musically, I think. Well, I can't, whatever. I don't. I'm like, you have something here, you know, and it needs to be put out, and that's how I feel about it. You know, even me, I'm 61, and I'm like, I'll jump on stage with the best of them. I don't, you know, punk rock, whatever, and I give them hell. I mean, I do, even my age. You just get out of the way, you know. I'm gonna give it hell for my half hour, 45 minutes, you know, and I'll go back and take some ibuprofen or tweak my neck later, like you know. Yeah, I think the other side of the coin is too. You know, these guys are in their 30s, whatever. After this, hey, we're gonna go out. I say it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm gonna go get a hotel room. I'm done. You guys, see you guys tomorrow, and that's it. I'm done. But it's, you know, but it is you get that adrenaline rush, and it just, for me anyway, it doesn't last as long as a 30-year-old, obviously. But you know, and you keep going, and now you found this other avenue of expression, you know, which is led you to like another path. And so, I mean, you're, like I said, you're probably in it until the end. You keep on going till you can't do it anymore. And
Can't do it anymore.
yeah, and that's 100% the path that I'm on. No matter how, you know, musically, anyways, is keep on doing something that keeps me involved with the music industry, or, well, now with this, we're talking to everybody, but, you know, some kind of art form, you know. So it's good that you were able to evolve into this new realm. You know, it sounds like that you really take that to heart, and it keeps you going. It keeps pushing you.
It does, man. It keeps me going, and it feeds anti-scene in a way. I just, I would have to say that it makes me look at things a lot different. I'm a lot choosier about our set list now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't do a lot of songs of, you know, with a bunch of gratuitous violence and stuff like that anymore. I mean, there's still plenty. Don't worry about that. But you know, I just try to put a little positive out there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of negative.
Yes.
There's plenty of negative, and I spent years sowing negative,
Mm-hmm.
and now I want to sow some positive. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like I said, you're walking a different path with your life and with music, and but there's that, you know, like I said, there's always that attachment to that art form, you know, and we 100% understand and get it, for sure, you know. I mean, Henry's a musician as well. Everybody's chasing the sound, chasing the song, doing this, doing that, and you know, even though we're a little older, it doesn't mean we're not on the bus. We're riding the bus. We might be in the back, you know, but we're still on the bus. You know, that's just you know. So yeah, I think that's totally awesome, because a lot of people, like I said, they got the talent, but they just lost that motivation. They lost their way, I guess, musically. So what do I do? So, I mean, you're a hell of a musician. Why, you know, you get out there, go do something, You're going to wake up, you'll be 90 years old, someone's changing your diaper, and you're watching cartoons for the rest of your life. And you'll be going, what did I do? Well, I should have played the drums for this band. No, you missed your boat, buddy. You got to get out there while you can still move and groove. And
I've been lucky. I've done some side stuff. I've done some solo stuff, here and there, the decades. But anti-scene has been the thing that brought me to the dance, and when it's finally time to shut that down, it'll be sad, but it'll also be time.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, I got one more question before we land this plane. So, where can people go to find out more about Anti-Scene, Jeff Clayton, Clayton Wensil? What platforms can they go? They want to check that out more.
Well, the first one they can go to is Anti-Scene Store.bigcartel.com. That's got everything. It's got the stuff I put out on my own label, Long Haired Weirdo Records. It's got the Clayton and Wensil stuff is on there. All the Anti-Scene stuff that we have is on that one store. Now, eventually I'm going to move it over and we're going to have a separate store. But right now we got one store, and the antiscene.com, which, if I'm being honest with you, there's not a lot of information on there, man. We found out people just wanted to find out where we were playing, when we were playing, and then leave it at that. And so we don't really do that much with the website anymore.
All right. Well, I guess that's our show for this evening. We'd like to thank Mr. Jeff Clayton for being on.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you and talking with you for sure.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you too, man. And I want to thank you both for having Janice on your show.
Oh, man.
Great. It's great.
Yeah, definitely a pleasure.
I've seen both episodes, man. You guys were great. She was a hoot. And thank you for always including her and keeping her.
Well, Janice has the open door policy anytime, and she's got our numbers, trust me, just like she's got your number, so whenever she wants to come back on and do whatever, we have our doors open. And for anybody, yourself as well, whatever is coming down the pike, give us a holler. You got a show or something coming out, let us know. We'll come back on and shoot the breeze and see what's, definitely keep us posted on what's happening,
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely. And maybe I'll but you're in the Carolinas somewhere. You're not that far off the mark from where I am, so maybe I can zip out there and catch a show, or maybe you do Nashville. Hint, come on out to Nashville or something. But certainly, like I said, a pleasure meeting you. And we do have, like I said, we're proudly displaying the album on our wall in my studio, and Henry has his copy. So it's been certainly a something for us to display and behold, to have stuff from you guys and from Janice. I mean, we have got a ton of stuff from Miss Janice. So I need a wall for her stuff, but she, like I said, you guys are both you and her. We've had a really great time having everybody on the show, and like I said, anytime, just let us know, and we will definitely have you back on for sure. Yeah,
thank you.
You're quite welcome.
All right, you guys, take care. Thank you very much.
All
right, Jeff. Take care, man. We'll talk soon for sure.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Definitely. All right, guys, and we will see you in the next video.